Okay, guys, so we are on. Let me see. I'm waiting for Danny, who's leading the call. So I need to find her. Okay, I don't see that she's on. Um, Hold on, let me send her a little message. She's the one doing the team call today. Let me send her a little message. Hey, Danny, so we are on and I don't see your name. Check your email. You should have a special link as a panelist. So go ahead and check your email. And then you just click on that link to join. Okay, so I know that there's a problem connecting you guys. Give us a second. Making sure that she gets her invite. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. So today, I'm going to resend her an invite. I hope you guys are doing great. Just have some patience. Hello, everyone. So just have a little patience because we are trying to get Danny on the call. Okay, awesome. But I'm not the guest speaker, so I wasn't even going to hop on today at all. I'm like super shiny on top of it. Okay, we're just waiting for Danny. I am going to Hey Irene, everyone, panelist. Okay, so far it's just me. I hope you guys are having a great day. Sorry we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. Do hang on because I know Danny's super excited to share what she's got to say with you. Yay, she's on. Hi, Danny. Okay, speak. Let's see if we can hear you. We don't hear you at all. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to make you the host, okay? Hold on. Okay, you're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
So you know what? Let me just take a look on Facebook to see if they can see you, and then I'm gonna take myself off video because I don't need to be on it all.
Okay.
I just want to make sure. Can you guys see her? So hold on, give me 1 second. I'm so excited that you're doing this. I'm super. Okay, we can see you. That is awesome. Okay, I'm taking myself off video, but I will be here taking notes and listening. I'm so excited, and thank you so much for sharing. And we're excited. All right,
Awesome.
bye.
Bye. Hey guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be doing this. I wanted to share my story with you. I'm sort of like in the middle of my story right now, so I thought this would be a really good time for me to hop on and share with you guys. So I've been a coach. I'm going to just kind of give you a little bit of my history. I've been a coach for 2 years. I just celebrated my 2-year anniversary on the 6th. I'm a personally sponsored coach of Amy Silverman's, which has been an amazing experience for me. Went diamond within my first like 8 months or so and held pretty steady and was doing pretty well. And then last November, I got sick and we couldn't figure out what was going on. I had like flu-like symptoms and I had like a lot of swelling in my neck and stuff. So I'm not going to give you like the whole story, but basically it turned out to be my thyroid. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. I had some pretty large nodules and it was getting like swollen like more and more to the point where I was having difficulty speaking and swallowing, which was scary. It was really scary for me. So after some testing and just a lot of like a lot of testing that wasn't giving us any answers, we decided to remove my thyroid. And it was a blessing that we did that because it turned out that I had stage 3 thyroid cancer. That was terrifying. The whole experience was very scary for me. And we took the thyroid out the beginning of December, and I found out after they took it out and tested it that it was cancer. And there's like a whole course of treatment that goes after that because when you remove your thyroid, they say it's almost like peeling off a sticker. So it's not just like removing an organ. So there's still like residual tissue in there that they have to make sure doesn't have cancer in it, because thyroid cancer can spread. And I'm like an expert on thyroid cancer now, but there are actually 4 different types, and the type that I have has a very high rate of recurrence. So I had to do this like crazy treatment in February. It's called radioactive iodine treatment. So I had to actually take a radioactive pill, and there was like a whole diet that was involved. I couldn't have any, I had to have like a very small amount of iodine. So I wasn't able to drink my Shakeology because it includes iodine for 3 weeks. That sucked. And it was just a scary treatment. I had to isolate myself because it actually made me radioactive for an entire it was like a week, and then I could start to like see my kids. My kids actually had to be out of the house, and I had to be in my bedroom with the door closed. If I left to go to the bathroom, I had to wear gloves. It was crazy. It was like science fiction stuff. So I went through all of that, and it was really difficult for me. And one of the things that I think was the hardest was that I let my business go during that time, because I was I was really sick, but I was also so consumed with what was happening to me. And I was really, I was scared and I was angry and dealing with all of these emotions. And after I had my treatment in February, I started to very slowly come back to it. I was able to start drinking my Shakeology again. I started with a 3-week yoga retreat, and then got back into Pio, and then I just started like working my way back in, because anyone who knows me knows that I'm like the poster child for product of the product. I love Shakeology. I love my workouts. Like the more hardcore, the better. So that was really tough for me. And so between February and now, I just started progressively doing like harder and harder workouts. I did a hybrid of Shaun T stuff before Shaun Week. Then I did Shaun Week. Then I moved on to Shift Shop. The day I was supposed to do my very last workout with Shift Shop, I woke up with excruciating stomach pain, had my husband take me to the ER, and it turned out that my appendix was about to burst. So I had to have that removed. And that was a week and a half ago. So here I am. And, I had just gone through all of this stuff in the winter, and just started to feel like I was getting back on my path. And I mean, I was literally just thinking that before this happened, like, it just feels so awesome to be back to normal. And I had gained 20 pounds throughout the whole thyroid cancer incident. And I was 1 pound away from getting back to my pre-cancer weight. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I had my appendix removed on the 5th, which was last Saturday. Had to spend 3 nights in the hospital, got out last Tuesday, have been home recovering. And yesterday I had a doctor's appointment, and he kind of gave me the down and dirty, like, you're probably not going to be able to work out for like 2 to 3 months. And that was just like such a blow to me. So I wanted to just share with you guys how I dealt with things then, how I'm dealing with things now. This is going to sound kind of crazy, but I do feel like looking back on how I handled the whole thyroid cancer situation, I probably could have handled it better. And of course, while I was in the moment, I felt like, what, my life is over and this is just awful and it sucks. But, when I look back on that, I'm like, I really wish I could have handled that better. And so now, as much as this sucks that it's happening again, I feel like I have like a do-over and I can handle this a lot better. So I have 5 tips for you guys that I wanted to share. And I'm just going to, kind of go through what I've been dealing with. Just keep in mind that it doesn't have to be a medical emergency. There are so many things that we let derail us. You could, maybe your boyfriend breaks up with you, or maybe you're in the middle of a move, or, it doesn't even have to be something negative, but we do let things derail us sometimes. So just keep that in mind, that I think we all go through things in life. Life can be tough sometimes. And if you're really dedicated to this business and you want to make it work, you really need to be able to find a way to overcome that. So these are my tips that I wanted to share with you. Number 1 is don't be a victim, you guys. I threw a little pity party for myself yesterday. I cried a lot yesterday. And I will say that I think it's very important for us to feel emotions. So when I say don't be a victim, I'm not saying, don't feel anything. Don't, you have to feel those feelings, but then you have to use those feelings, right? So so you're angry or you're sad or you're upset or whatever, let that fuel you. and, have your pity party and then get over it. So, I even said to Barbie, I was messaging with Barbie last night, and I was like, I'm really kind of struggling. And I was like, but, I won't let it last. And I won't. And I woke up this morning, and the first thing that I did was focus on what I had to be grateful for. And I mean, guys, there are so many things we have to be grateful for. So in the grand scheme of things, what I'm dealing with, it could be a lot worse, and I just feel very, very blessed that I have the amazing family and friends that I have. I have this amazing job. I'm so in love with being a coach, so I feel very lucky for that. You need to remember your why, and you need to remember your goals. I'm in 1-star qualification right now. I'm right in the middle of it. I'm almost halfway through it. I can't let that go. I was in my hospital bed with my phone, like messaging people. I hit Success Club while I was in the hospital on my 2-year anniversary. I celebrated my 2-year coaching anniversary in my hospital bed. It doesn't, it didn't have to be like, poor me, and, why does this keep happening to me? I owned it. And yeah, I'm going to have days where I'm bummed out about it, but I can't let that define me. And one of the things I really do is I share about it. I've learned over the past 2 years as a coach that the more I share about things, the more it helps other people, right? I mean, there are other people who are going through the same things. In fact, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but I'm going to be doing the Ultimate Reset. And I had mentioned it, as I was talking about how I can't work out anymore and stuff. And a friend of mine from high school messaged me, and she was like, I just had the same surgery like a month ago, and I'm still recovering. Can I do this with you? And she bought an Ultimate Reset Challenge pack like that. I've never sold one of those before. But I don't think we would have had that connection if I wasn't going through this right now and I wasn't sharing about it. It's good for me. It's like good therapy for me, because as I share about what I'm going through, I have the support of people, and I always make sure that it's never a poor me post. It's always got a point. It's always got like a message with it. So yes, I'm dealing with this stuff, but this is how I'm going to overcome it, or this is what I'm going to do. And even last night, I found like a funny meme about pity parties, and I posted it, and I was like, you know what? I'm having a little bit of a pity party for myself today, but I'm not going to do it after today. And I do that for my own accountability, and I do it because I want to give other people hope and let people know that it's okay to feel those feelings and to feel kind of shitty about stuff, but don't let it last, because otherwise, like, everything is going to fall apart. So that's just, don't be a victim. That's number one. Number two is to create a plan B. So I'm such a planner. Like, I have a calendar on my wall. I have a calendar in my planner. I plan out my month. I usually plan like 2 months ahead of time, because I figure out when I'm doing my challenge groups. I run 2 challenge groups a month. When I'm doing, I usually do like over a weekend, I'll do like a coach, like a intro to coaching workshop. Sometimes I do free groups, sometimes I don't. It just sort of depends on the month and what's going on. And I plan out my own stuff. So I plan out what programs I'm going to be doing. I have like my whole year planned out. And obviously I can't do that anymore because I can't work out, and I don't really know when I'm going to be able to work out. So I decided to do the Ultimate Reset because I've always wanted to do it. But like I said, I love my workouts. So 3 weeks without working out, that even the thought of that kind of just stressed me out. So I was like, I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'll do it someday, but I don't know when. But now I'm kind of being forced to not work out. So it's perfect timing, and there's no excuse. So the day after I got home from the hospital, I ordered it and I started talking about it. And that's going to be my focus. So I start that on Monday, and that'll be 3 weeks. The day after I finish that, I go back to the doctor, and I'll be able to find out more about what I can do. Right now, I'm only allowed to walk, which honestly, walking bores me so much, but I'm trying to find the good in it. My husband and I are spending some time together. And it's different, but I'm focusing on the positive. Once I'm feeling up to walking a little bit further, we'll go, we're going to find some beautiful spots to start walking, and we're getting into the fall right now. So it's going to be gorgeous outside. So I'm just focusing on all of that. So something weird just happened with the screen here. Okay, sorry. So find your plan B. I'll focus on that. And then when I'm done, if I'm not able to do any workouts, I'll focus on nutrition. If I am able to start working out, the doctor told me I have to start with like 15-minute increments. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll find like, some of our 30-minute workouts and do like half one day and half another. And I'll make it fun, and I'll talk about it with, with my challengers, with my team, with my social media followers, so that they know exactly what I'm doing. Because my biggest thing is that I don't want people to give up, and I shouldn't be giving up. So I have to find a way to make it work. And I don't know what that's going to look like yet. And honestly, that terrifies me because, like I said, I'm such a planner. So not knowing what workout I'm going to be doing next month, if at all, is crazy, but it is what it is. And, that's sort of been my mantra lately is it is what it is. I don't have any control over this. For whatever reason, my body keeps wanting to turn on me, even though I'm treating it better than I ever have in my life. I don't know why, but I have to just deal with it. So I'm just going to come up with those plan Bs as I go. But for right now, it's going to be the ultimate reset. I'm talking about it a lot. I already have 2 people who are going to be doing it with me, and possibly a third who I was actually just talking to before this call. And I'm excited. So it's giving me something to get excited about, because usually it's like Shift Shop, I was super excited about. A week of hard labor. It's killing me that I'm not going to be able to do that, because I love Sagi and I would love to be able to do it, but it's just not in the cards right now. So I'll do it later, and I'll talk it up, and I'll tell everybody about it, and I'll share, and I'll live vicariously through everybody else who's doing it. But for now, it's the ultimate reset, and then I'm just going to really focus on portion control and talking that up. So it's important to figure out, based on what your situation is, what your plan B is going to be, because if you can't come up with another plan and you're stuck in that plan that you're not able to do anymore, you're not going to be able to move forward. So that's really important. Number 3, dial in. You guys, this is so important. And this was probably the biggest mistake that I made when I was sick with my thyroid cancer. It actually made me upset and even a little angry to see people on my team and people within Beachbody and other coaches doing their workouts, being successful. It made me upset because I was in a place where I didn't feel like I could do that. I was jealous. I was just pissed off, and it sucked. And so I kind of like backed away from everything. I didn't, I barely even went on Facebook, which is crazy for me because Facebook is my jam and I'm always on it. I just didn't want to see it. So I didn't get on team calls. I didn't dial into the national wake up call. I didn't, I had a success partner at the time. She's not with the company anymore, but I barely even spoke with her, and she and I used to speak like every single day. I just didn't want to hear about it. And, looking back on that, that's my biggest regret, because I think if I had, I know that if I had continued to plug in to the amazing network that we have, I would have felt so much better. And I think I would have been able to bounce back faster than I had. I mean, when I say I let my business go for 2 months, I let it go. Like, I lost my diamond rank. I didn't hit Success Club for 2 months, which is like, I had just hit Success Club All-Star the month before. And then for 2 months, I didn't hit Success Club. Like, who does that? But I was, I just didn't think I could. So that, I think, really would have been a big help to me. So, I think it would have been like just what I needed to keep going, and really like seek out other stories of coaches. We have so many coaches who've been through like really hard things. I mean, really difficult things. And so I'm not going to, name names or anything. Everybody has a different situation, but seek out other coaches who had a difficult story, who have dealt with illness and loss and grief and, whatever it is that you need. Divorce. There's so many different stories that I've heard from other Beachbody coaches, and that gives me so much hope. And it really has, over the last, I think, 8 months that I started, getting, when I got sick and everything, you can go on YouTube and Google stuff. You can ask other people on your team. You can start following some of the top coaches. Like, everybody has a story. And if you can see that they were able to get through that will give you some hope. And that's one of the reasons why I share this story. This isn't the first. I've done calls like this before when I've talked about my thyroid cancer. Now I have an added layer of this whole surgery. But I want to give you guys hope. I want to give other people hope that it's not the end of the world when something happens. And I'm not going to lie, this has felt like somebody literally like ripped the rug out from under me, because it's my livelihood and it sucks, but I know I'm going to get through it. And I know other people have gotten through it. And, part of this whole thing is sharing my story so that it can give other people hope as well. So make sure that you're dialing in. Number 4, create and seek out new opportunities to teach and grow. So prime example, I'm leading this call right now. I just got out of the hospital a week ago. And I remember Barbie saying, like, are you going to be okay? And I was like, no, I really need to do this now, because this is like therapy for me. Like knowing that I'm sharing my story and that it's possibly going to help some of you guys. Like I have to do this. So, I made sure that I sat down and I wrote out my presentation, and it was so helpful to me to be able to do that. And in turn, it's going to be helpful to you guys too. So seek out some of those opportunities. Maybe create a new focus, maybe create a new free group. You can do different team trainings. Like for me, like I have all this extra time because I work out and I also run. So it's usually like between an hour and 2 a day of time that I spend working out. So now I have all this free time, and yeah, I could do more inviting and stuff like that. And I am doing that, but it also gives me an opportunity to try something new and maybe add some more excitement to my business. So, maybe creating a new group. I'm looking into maybe creating like a new Shakeology group where I can educate people about the value of Shakeology. There are just so many different things that you can do. And I will tell you guys that I have connected with so many more people who have thyroid issues because I went through it than I ever would have before. And I remember before I had thyroid cancer, I would talk to people sometimes and they'd say, I don't know, I have thyroid issues. And I didn't know anything about that. Well, now I do. Like now I'm an expert. So it's a lot easier for me to help those people. And when I think about that, that helps me a lot because I could get into that whole like poor me thing, but it's given me an extra set of tools that I can help people with. So yeah, and hypothyroid is very common. Thyroid issues in general are very, very common. So use that, Michael, because you're going to have people who have the same issues, and use your story to help them. It makes such a difference when people know that you understand and that you can relate to it. So number 5 is why me? And you can look at this in 2 ways, right? If you have something bad that's going on, you have a bad situation, you can say, why me? Why did this happen to me? Or you can say, why me? Why did this happen to me? And turn it into a positive. How can I use this? Why is this falling on me? And how can I use it to help the people that I'm connected with? Take it from that negative to positive. What new insights can you offer? Like I said, with the thyroid cancer, I know more about thyroid issues now, and I know about cancer. So I can talk about that. I can post about it. I can share with people who are going through the same thing. I can tell them the benefits of Shakeology. I can tell them how when I had to go off of Shakeology for 3 weeks before my treatment, I felt the crappiest I felt the whole time I was going through that. And as soon as I got back on it, I felt amazing again. That's powerful stuff. That's powerful storytelling. And it's nothing salesy. Like that's just my experience. And I know like it reinforced my belief in our products and our programs because I've been feeling so good, save this whole surgery thing. And I saw my primary care doctor probably like a week and a half before this whole thing with my appendix happened. And she was like, honestly, I'm shocked at how good you look, how much weight you've lost, and just like how good you feel, because most people who are 6 to 8 months out of a thyroid surgery, they've gained a ton of weight, they feel like crap. And I know that it's because of Beachbody that I was able to do that. So there's definitely a positive to that. And then just think about the new people that you can help. Think about the new hashtags you can use. I use thyroid cancer, and I use cancer, and THICA is like the shortened version of thyroid cancer. So I found new hashtags, and it connected me with new people. So you just have to take like this whole thing and find a way to turn it into a positive. Find a way to use it to help other people, because that's why we're coaches, right? That's why I'm a coach, because I want to help people. And I have to use this. I have to use my own experiences. Before all of this happened, I used my weight loss. I had a 40-pound weight loss. Started with the 21-day fix, progressed through some other more difficult programs. And that was my story. And then I had the whole thyroid cancer issue, and I was able to kind of weave that into my story. And then my whole, progression through that, and overcoming that and getting stronger because of it, that was a big part of my story. And now this is going to be a part of my story. And even though right now I'm kind of in the thick of it and I'm still figuring it all out, I think that because I had that other experience with it, apparently I'm the surgery girl. That's my story right now. But I'm in the thick of it right now, but I'm learning, and I've learned so much from my past experience. So that's what I'm using. So just to go over those 5 points again, and then I don't know if we have time for questions, but I'm happy to take a couple. I have time. So number 1 is don't be a victim. 2, create a plan B. 3, dial in. 4, create and seek out new opportunities to teach and grow. And 5 is that why me? Turn it from a negative to a positive. So that's all I've got for you guys. I don't know if you guys want to ask some questions. I'm happy to answer them. Let me just check the chat box here. Okay, I don't know if I'm able to end the call or not. I've never been a panelist before, so this is super exciting, but I just wanted to thank you guys so much for listening to me. Like I said, like this has been sort of like therapy for me too, to be able to share this with you guys. It's super helpful to me to just sort of talk it through and share this, and it reinforces what I need to do because I need to get on it, because I'm not gonna let this derail me this time. Not gonna happen. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the thoughts and prayers. That means a lot to me. And oh, Barbie said to check the Facebook wall for questions. So I'm going to go there before I log off. I forgot that you guys were on Facebook. Let me see. I can get the page to pull up. There we are. Okay, so Alana asked if thyroid is in my family. No. And I'm actually glad that you brought this up because I don't have a history of thyroid problems or thyroid cancer in my family. I do have a history of breast cancer. However, I believe that this was environmental. I didn't live the healthiest life before Beachbody, so I was very lucky that I found this way of life because I think that it could have been a lot worse if I had let it go any longer. So no, I did not have any history in my family. And that's something I'm very passionate about now is it made me feel even more passionate about helping other people because I want to prevent this from happening. I've done a ton of research into nutrition and how it links to cancer. And there's a lot that we can be doing to help people in that area. And I don't like to be a fear monger and tell people, if you don't eat healthy and if you don't drink Shakeology, you're going to get cancer, because that's not necessarily true. But if people aren't taking care of themselves and they have a ton of extra fat, especially around the middle, like within their internal organs, that's like a pre-indicator of cancer. So that's just opened my eyes to that and made me even more passionate about what we do. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions, so I think we're good. Thank you guys so much. This was super awesome. And if you think of any other questions, feel free to either post them underneath the video, or you can, if you want to private message me, I'm cool with that too. Okay, thank you guys so much. Bye.